Hi. There's three things that I've been guided to share with you today. I will try and do it as concisely as possible, but I am prone to nervous and or tired over talking, so I will endeavour to monitor myself with that. So jumping into it, the first thing is the recent energies. I'm not talking so much about the eclipses. I'm being shown Wednesday was quite significant. So what was that? The 10th. At various times, it here in Australia was, universal time. It's significant, early hours of the morning, and then continued into the day. The thing I'm being highlighted here is that when energies are intensified, they're not always what we would consider new energies. I guess the way I'm being shown to explain it is often these are top-ups of energies that we've received previously as new energies, and they're just coming in to top us up with those, because those specific frequencies are still needed in higher strengths. But there are significant times when new frequencies come in to be integrated, and these are different. And I'm being shown that Wednesday was significant as new energies coming in, and that as a result of this, we've had a baseline shift. So if you think of the planet's overall baseline resonance, this has now gone up a notch. So I hope I'm explaining that all right. So it's like a baseline shift. So our base vibration has changed from the old one up a notch, and that is the new baseline now, and it will not drop back down. So we are moving closer and closer. I have been struggling significantly last weekend, well, for a couple of weeks, with integrating all of these energies and my body needing certain things. I've felt it very physically. The weekend was also very, I would say, challenging on an emotional, mental level. And of course, this week I'm feeling good, mostly. So yeah, if you're what I think a lot of people identify with the concept of pre-waver, you may have found the weekend particularly intense. And even though this is all occurring midweek, you may have found yourself experiencing this week with a greater ease in a lot of areas. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about is this. It's a deep sense of loneliness and feeling separate. And it's being felt quite a lot amongst those that are on the conscious path. And it's, the only way I can describe it is what I'm being shown is this is not something that's going to be fixed by seeking something externally on any level. This is coming from a loneliness and a sense of separation of ourselves. And this is because now there's this need coming up. Before it was, this would help, this would that. Now it's a need coming from within that is saying, I need to feel whole. And wholeness is the only thing that's going to bring me happiness on a true deep level. This is not anyone else's responsibility, and nobody else can fix this for us. As with anything on this path, it has to happen by coming inward. And what I'm being shown is this feeling is coming from not embracing all aspects of the self. So it's those parts of us that we don't even like about ourselves, and and this can be done very unconsciously too. It's not that it's necessarily a conscious thing, but there's parts of our character and the way we behave sometimes and the way we think sometimes that we judge as bad, wrong, dark, whatever it might be. And so we kind of try to deny those parts of us exist, and we focus, which is what we're taught, feed your light, not your shadow. But the problem with that is many people have interpreted that to mean only focus on your good and don't put any energy into what you don't judge as good about yourself. And that also leads to this disconnection. Well, I'll just pretend you don't exist. If I deny you enough energy, you will eventually just disappear completely. But it's those parts that we judge about ourselves as so unlovable, so horrible, something so wrong with us, that if anyone else saw those parts of us, they would run a mile, because we want to run a mile from ourselves, those parts of ourselves. The key message here is, no matter how hard it is, and I feel like I'm going to cry as I say this, is that all of those parts make up you. There are no parts of you that are bad or wrong. There are parts of you that, when expressed, can show you things about yourself that you couldn't have seen before. So the first step to wholeness is identifying the parts of you that you've judged as unworthy, unlovable, wrong, bad, whatever label you've given it. And like a loving parent would their child, who, yes, behaves badly, but you don't stop loving your child just because they're a little shit. You know, like, yeah, that's the love you have to give you and those parts of you, and see them for what they are. Wounded parts that are crying out for love, crying out to be held, crying out to come in where it's warm, where it's bright, where everyone else is, and not left outside looking in. So yeah, I guess there's a big lesson in me for that, like for me in that too, because I still spend honestly so much time sitting here trying to make these videos and freaking out, and I can't even explain why. You know, I am a lot more comfortable with the process, but I still have this internal freak out every time. So yeah, we need to embrace every single part of us and bring it back into the family and love it and not ostracize it anymore. We all know how it feels to be cast out somehow, to be, you know, cut off from what everyone else is experiencing because we've done something that, you know, is deemed, you know, not appropriate, or, you know, and we don't even know what that is sometimes. So love yourself like you do your best friend, like you do the person you cherish most in the world. That's the message here. And this ties in together. The message for a lot of us is to just, it's now time to become an even clearer channel. And a lot of us, including myself lately, have been bogged down with a lot of rubbish, I suppose. I've been catching myself a lot regularly, seeing how my thoughts just start spiraling if they're left unobserved. And the message is that in order to, and this goes back to that sense of unhappiness and this searching for something, it's a sense of dissatisfaction coming because we're blocking somehow, or it's being blocked somehow, that divine energy, our soul energy, our soul expression, our spirit, is, all of it is being blocked by what's in our physical and energetic layers. So the opportunity here is to do an inventory of all of those layers and see what's weighing you down, what's keeping you distracted from from your true mission, which is to be here for your soul expression. So look at your physical world. What's weighing you down or clogging the flow of things? Do you need to declutter? Do you need to do just a big clean out? Do you need to rearrange things so that there's a better flow? Do you need to limit the amount of things that are pulling at your time that aren't essential but are still there? And then do the same mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What's weighing you down? What's preventing you from fully living what you came here for? And then identify these issues. Write them down as a list if you have to. I'm a bit afraid to do that because I reckon there might be pages and pages across all of them. But seriously, perhaps write them down. Acknowledge that there's a problem there that needs to be dealt with. Ostriching, as I call it. Ostriching, putting your head in the sand, not wanting to face it isn't going to work anymore. It's just going to lead to this stagnancy and this increasing frustration. So it's now time to work out what you can eliminate on each of those layers. What can you eliminate physically that's weighing you down, that doesn't need to be there? What can you eliminate emotionally, mentally, and in the spiritual realm that's weighing you down? Are you listening to too many people? Are you taking on... I realized the other day in a personal experience, suddenly I felt like I was doing everything wrong because there was all these different opinions coming at me and I was trying to figure out how to do everything. And then I just stopped and I got this clear message. You're letting too many cooks into your kitchen and you're letting all their opinions affect what you originally started cooking. I'm not even a cook. I don't cook at home, so I don't even know why I'm using that analogy, but there you go. But it's like, yeah, you start off with a recipe, something that you're intending to make, and then other people come in, they taste it, and they look at it, and they go, no, you need to do this, this, and this. So you do it, and before you know it, you've got this creation that nobody's happy with, and you don't even know what it is. It doesn't even resemble what you started out to do. So scale back everything that doesn't need to be there, and unless it is serving a higher purpose in your life at that moment. Somebody asked me the other day about this concept of disconnection from family and friends that's been happening and continuing to happen. To me, this is what's been referenced as the splitting of worlds. It's the splitting of perceptions, so that you can, excuse me, when you communicate with some people now, you just see that the way both parties are perceiving used to be here, and now suddenly it's just moved so far that it feels like neither of you are looking at the same thing and perceiving the same thing anymore. People are becoming so polarized by their beliefs that it's creating almost two worlds, depending on who you talk to. For the most part, most of the people I talk to are experiencing this transformation happening, and it's not always pretty and it's not always pleasant, but it is an exciting journey, and we have this kind of perception that there is this greater event happening. There is a perception that's completely different to that, and it's also a vibrational thing. I think I explained it before. It's like an overlap, and there's a range, and sometimes it matches perfectly, sometimes it's, here, you know what I mean. As our individual vibration changes organically in this process, where we used to fit into that range with some people and some situations, it's now no longer able to connect. It's purely a vibrational thing. It's hard sometimes not to judge and try and find more human personality reasons why things don't work, but it's just simply a vibrational gap now that's in that present moment too big to transcend. Yeah. So, sorry, I think I drifted off a bit with that one. So the real theme is, though, just to focus now on following what that whisperer inside you says and let go of everything that's trapping you from making that happen, and just trust that there is something happening here that really, it can be explained conceptually, but the only way to really understand what's happening is to experience it and to feel it and to just be present with it, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. I keep getting this reinforced message that it's, you know, one of those things that you've grown up your whole life hearing pretty much, that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Right now is where all our power lies. We can't change the past and what's happened there. We can accept it. We can change how we live with it and experience it. We can think about the future and we can plan for it, but it's not guaranteed. It's just not. I mean, most days that we think it is, because what we think, you know, the same thing happens. We get up, we go to, you know, you go to work, or whatever it is, the day happens and it ends, and then it happens again the next day. So there's a certain false certainty that it's guaranteed. It's not. Have a goal for what you want for tomorrow, but then be present with whatever it brings, because that's where our true power lies. What we do in this exact moment, right now, and the next right now, and the next right now. So yeah, anyway, I can feel that rambling coming, so I'm gonna go. And yeah, thinking about you all. I did want to make a video earlier, but yeah, I've just needed time to just be with everything that was happening inside me. So if you resonate, I hope this helps in some way, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Biggest heart hugs, and take care. Bye.